Good morning, good afternoon, maybe even good evening for you. This is Sundays with Rev Jen. I am so thankful you are here with us today. Before I get started, though, I want to invite you to slow down with me. This week, I have been witnessing something really important, and I have been hearing from clients, from students, from women in my women's group yesterday, and I've even heard this from family members who have been practicing this work with me in a simple way and noticing the shifts. Many of them have been sharing that the power of the pause is really helping. I know it certainly has helped me in my life, and this is why I've been teaching it in the integration room and with my clients and really anyone who listen. What I've been hearing is they are reacting less quickly, they are seeing situations more clearly, they are noticing emotional patterns while they are happening instead of only recognizing them afterwards. So something is working, but there's also something quietly following this awareness that was not really being paid attention to in my perspective, even for myself. So I'm going to bring it to all of our attention now. So after the pause, another feeling often shows up. It could sound like I feel stuck. I feel like I'm going backwards. I feel depressed. I see the cycle now, but I do not know how to get out of it. I feel like I have no other choice. This is really hard. And I've literally have heard these words out of clients and students' mouths this week, including myself. So I want to slow this down together because what you are experiencing is not failure, it's awareness. And awareness is the first stage of emotional intelligence. For most of your life, your nervous system was trained to operate automatically. It learned through repetition, through tone, through approval and disapproval, through subtle emotional power structures inside your family systems. So you developed reactions that helped you, and I reiterate, helped you survive, even if they did not help you feel safe or fully understood. So now the pause you've been practicing, that we've all been practicing, is interrupting the autopilot. You are starting to see the pattern while it is happening. You are noticing emotional hooks. You are feeling the urge to react, while others, parts of you, let's just say other parts of you, are observing that urge. This is the beginning of an intentional authority. And intentional authority can feel destabilizing at first because once awareness enters, you cannot pretend you do not see the pattern anymore. So the mind says, I'm stuck. But what is actually happening is your nervous system is renegotiating loyalty to the old identities, your old emotional roles, and even your own survival agreements. And we can see how this plays out in very real everyday moments. I saw a real example of this recently in my own home. I was watching Nikki and our daughter. She was trying to watch a show on his iPhone. She accidentally got out of YouTube, and I could see her little mind working, trying to figure out how to get back to Miss Rachel. He noticed she was struggling, so instinctively, he moved to help her. She instantly, no, pushed his hand away and said, no, I do it. Right there, a generational emotional script activated in my husband. Now, I want you to notice if you are reacting also from that, from the child's perspective still living inside you. You might have immediately thought like, oh no, that would not happen in my house. Or if that happened to me as a child, I would have been told no instantly and corrected. I would have been punished. I would have been told I was being disrespectful. Now, I watched his nervous system get defensive. I watched him say, "Fine, if you don't want my help, then I will not help you." This is how quickly emotional memory can take control of present reality. So I brought it to his attention and we practiced the power of the pause. I said, "Hold on a second. Is she actually doing anything wrong here?" He looked confused at me because emotional conditioning was much louder than his awareness at that moment. So I explained, "She is trying to figure out something on her own right now. This is actually a good thing. You are trying to help her, and this is also a good thing." A different response could be, "I see you're trying to figure this out. If you need my help, I am here." And in that moment, a tear came out of his eye. That tear was not about the phone. It was an emotional memory surfacing. So when we slowed it down even more, I said, "What is the worst case scenario that can happen here? Maybe she locks your phone and it's disabled for a minute." And we can say, "Okay, what's the worst thing? I have to sit here for a minute. I have to wait with her. I could sing a song with her. I can teach her how to be patient." Maybe in that moment and in that minute, you get an even deeper chance to connect. Maybe you breathe together. Maybe you realize urgency was never actually real in that moment. Moments later, our little 18-month-old daughter came over to me and said, "Mommy, help please." So I helped her. And then she said, "Thank you." And she relaxed into herself and went back into her show. Then a second later, an advertisement came up and she said, "Uh-oh, help please, mommy, help again, please." And I witnessed my husband see something important. He noticed that she was open. She was not guarded. She was not trying to prove herself. Her nervous system actually felt safe enough, I should say, to learn. I told him this is the same thing that happened to me the other day, so you don't need to feel alone. She picked up scissors, and I felt the fear instantly rise in my body. I think I even said, "Oh no," out loud. I noticed that instinct to react quickly. And maybe you've had this moment as a parent too, or maybe you can look at yourself as a child and seeing your parent react that way. Instead of reacting through my fear, I practiced the power of the pause. I took a deep breath and I looked at her and I said, "She is safe right now. There is no fear. She's just holding the scissors." So at that moment, I walked over and I calmly asked her, like, "Hey, can I have those?" Because I was not reacting from fear, she did not move into fear. So she simply handed them over to me without any hesitation. I use that moment to show it to my son too, that we don't need to yell, we don't need to scream, we don't need to slap, we don't need to pull it from her. We just need to control our nervous system so she learns to respond. This is how nervous systems are shaped. So slow down with me for a second as I say this, because this might also become a moment that has been coming up inside of you and you haven't even realized it. This is why we are not punishing ourselves now. Like, I really want to slow that down and realize, like, this isn't about punishing you. This isn't about saying, "Why didn't I know this before?" And we're not actually going to stay angry at our parents for this either, no matter what generation you are coming from, because all generations were just doing their best, but we were doing this without having the psychological language and without this level of awareness. You're listening right now and you are gaining awareness, and awareness becomes a tool. As you practice this, people around you may observe the shift. They may, and I'm going to emphasize that word may, have the opportunity to learn here too. But the part that you need to pay attention to within that is none of that is in your control. The only thing you control is how you respond and whether you are willing to live inside that discomfort while your nervous system updates. Now, stay with me here because this is where resistance often shows up. On our live feed this past Friday, while Nikki and I were helping people process emotions, someone commented in the chat saying, I feel like there's too much internalizing going on here. And interesting enough, I had also heard something very similar from a family member this week. They said, you are internalizing this too much. Just get over it and live your life. This mindset I'm going to again highlight that word in your mind. This mindset used to work. It used to help you survive. We don't want to survive anymore. We want to thrive. So when emotional awareness was unsafe, you suppressed it. And that suppression felt like strength. But the concept is no longer working because we are advancing, we are growing as a humankind. And it's about time from my perspective. But because what we suppressed, we stored, and what we stored eventually controls us from the background. So I've been seeing this metaphorically every day in my own home right now. There is a closet in my hallway packed with sleeping bags and blankets, and there might even be some boxes in there. Every time I walk past this, every time, like each time, it's literally bowing out a little bit now. I know I need to reorganize it. I need to take out things. I need to fold them. I need to decide what I still need. And I need to get rid of what I don't need. And I need to create a better system. But if I keep ignoring it, eventually that door will bust open. Or if someone happens to open the door, everything is going to come flying out. That closet is shadow work. We all have one of these inside. It is the subconscious holding everything we did not want to face or maybe we didn't understand at the time. Many people are walking through life with emotional closets that are about to burst. Then they wonder why they feel stuck, why they feel overwhelmed, why they feel depressed. It's not because nothing's changing, it's because too much has been avoided. Awareness is you opening the door. Integration is you reorganizing what's inside. I experienced this deeply again when my body developed shingles in the last couple weeks. I talked about it in my class in the regulation room, but let me go over it a little bit here too. Internally, I could not make logical sense of it, but when I slowed down, I saw a deeper emotional layer. Grief around parental love, concern about illness in my father and my grandfather, watching my mother feel responsible and maybe even alone in these emotions. An old identity surfaced, the fixer, the one who believes she must carry emotional weight for everyone. And trust me, I have been working on this for years. When I stayed, though, in the pause, instead of saying, I've already dealt with this, I've already worked through this, what more could there be? I stayed in that clarity. I let it come to the surface. I saw that I do have love and safety in my marriage. And my wonderful husband doesn't only give that to me, but he gives it to all of our children. And I know he will give that love to our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren. I was able to breathe that in and consciously remind my nervous system, I am safe. I am right where I want to be. I don't have to fight. I saw that my role is not to carry generational pain forward, but to sit with it and decide what is actually mine. Just like in that closet, what do I need to keep and what can I get rid of? So take a breath with me here. Breathe it in. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Because now I'm holding this space for all of us to see the bigger and larger picture here. When individuals learn to pause, to internalize, to regulate, things shift not only in themselves, but family shifts, communication shifts, leadership shifts. Imagine a world where people paused before reacting from fear or wounded pride, where parents regulated before correcting, where individuals trusted their uniqueness instead of abandoning themselves to feel accepted. There would be far less conflict. So if you feel stuck right now, hear this differently. You are not stuck. You are updating. You are not going backwards. You are reorganizing. You are not weak and depressed. You are decompressing and you are becoming aware. And awareness is the doorway to the life you always sensed was possible. So this week, let's continue practicing that pause. Let emotions surface. Actually slow down and listen to what they are revealing. What are they showing you? Where is it showing up in your body? Is it showing up in your chest feeling tight, your heart racing? Maybe it's tightness in the shoulders or the neck. Maybe there's numbness in your fingers. What is your body telling you so your mind can catch up? Because integration is how you finally gain that traction you've been looking for. It's the secret that's been right in front of you the whole time, but maybe you were too scared to look at. It's time to open that closet door. And before you leave me here, I want you to sit with this. What emotional closet am I finally ready to open so I can create a real space in my life? Now, I'm going to use this last 20 seconds for a spiritual landing that will emotionally seal this teaching. Are you ready? Take a deep breath with me. Again, let's tell that nervous system, I am here, I am listening. Right now, nothing is required of you. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to fix your whole life today. Awareness has already begun the moment. Every time you pause, every time you choose understanding over reaction, you are changing the direction of your future and quietly changing the emotional legacy you pass forward. Trust that what feels slow is often sacred reorganization. Trust what feels uncomfortable is often truth making room inside of you. And trust that this, most of all, you are not behind, you are arriving. Until next time.